how to cash out millions in crypto. Let's say you are invested in crypto, in Bitcoin, Ethereum, meme coins or others, and you are already sitting on a huge profit in your wallet. You may already be in profit with millions of dollars, but you have the big problem that selling the assets triggers capital gains tax in most countries around the world. In some countries, you then have to pay up to 40% of the profits to the government in the form of tax. For example, in Denmark, where the capital gains tax is 42%. And I also note that more and more countries are currently making changes to their tax laws. In some countries, taxes are being increased. In Canada, for example, the proportion of capital gains that are taxable has been increased from 1/2 to 2/3. In the UK, there has recently been talk of introducing an exit tax to stop the exodus of wealthy people. If you haven't seen the video yet, you can click on the link above and watch the video on a possible exit tax in the UK. So now many of our clients, and probably you too, do not see the point of paying up to 40% tax on profits from crypto sales. And you also don't want to have any problems when cashing out your crypto. You don't want your bank account to be frozen or anything like that. In fact, many banks all over the world want to close down your crypto account and want to restrict your crypto use. And the EU even wants to ban payments over 3,000 euros with crypto wallets. And that's why in this video I show you step by step one of the best and safest ways to cash out your crypto completely tax-free, and this in Dubai. So Dubai, or the UAE, is one of the countries that does not levy capital gains taxes. If you become a Dubai resident now and you spend the required time in Dubai, you can become a tax resident there, and this is possible from 90 days, and then you get tax residency for domestic purposes. If you want to get tax residency for foreign purposes also, you must spend at least 6 months or 183 days per year in Dubai. But now let's talk about the reasons why the UAE and Dubai are one of the best destinations where you can cash out your crypto completely tax-free. First of all, Dubai is generally considered to be very crypto-friendly when it comes to crypto, so you will probably have heard this a lot from other people on social media. And yes, this is basically true. So in Dubai, you can buy luxury cars with crypto. You can often buy properties with crypto. You can literally pay with Bitcoin, pay with USDT, and then after a very short time own the property. All this is possible. But, and this is often misrepresented online, banks will freeze your accounts if you cash out millions of dollars in crypto in one go. So it's a mistake to assume that banks want your crypto money. Banks, even in the UAE and Dubai, are subject to the same regulations as in other countries also. So if they simply accepted any money, no matter the amount, the banks and the UAE would be in trouble with the international community very quickly. Therefore, definitely make sure that you watch the whole video and you will not be confronted with big problems when cashing out your crypto in Dubai. What you also notice is that the government promotes crypto a lot. So in fact, a lot of crypto exchanges which have been closed in a lot of Western countries who seem to really hate crypto have moved to the UAE specifically because of how crypto friendly and how much it is sort of welcoming crypto in the country. Number two, it is in general a kind of country that welcomes your wealth. So in the West, on the other hand, if you have money, you are 10 times more on the radar of the tax authorities, and you are literally squeezed until it feels like there is nothing left. It literally feels like people hate you. Instead, in the UAE, you are welcome. So the mindset here is simply very different. The state and the residents always want higher and further. So very, very different from the West. You can spend your money here without any problems on cars, on properties, and you don't have to worry about it being stolen for whatever reason. You don't need to worry about your safety here in any way. The UAE is in fact one of the safest countries in the world. So what is the first step to cash out your crypto tax-free in the UAE? You must first become a non-resident in your home country and the regulations vary from country to country. In some countries it's very easy, in others it's a little bit more difficult. So some countries also require a tax certificate from the country, where you then become a tax resident after immigration. And in this case, it's the UAE. So what does that mean? Each case must be analyzed individually. The second step is to become a resident of the UAE. The fastest way to do this is by setting up a company in the UAE. And you can do this with us, for example. So we have been in Dubai since 2021, and we have already had plenty of clients to set up companies in Dubai and become residents here. What you do now is you hire yourself as a general manager, for example, in your own company, because you always need a sponsor, and this sponsor can be your own company, for example. And then you are able to issue yourself a visa with your own company. You are then the owner of your own company and employed at the same time. And this is then called a so-called employment visa. Then after a few days, you will receive the Emirates ID, which is basically the local ID card of the UAE. And the ID signifies that you are a resident of the UAE, and you need the ID, for example, to sign rental contracts, get a local driver's license, and to open bank accounts in the UAE. And this now brings us to the ways in which you can cash out or use crypto in Dubai. So the first way you can cash out crypto is by opening an account with a crypto exchange using your Emirates ID, for example, at Binance, which, by the way, also has a headquarter in Dubai. Then you transfer your crypto from your home country exchange to your UAE exchange, in this case, for example, at Binance. And then you simply transfer it to your bank account, which you also open with your Emirates ID. But this can, of course, lead to some issues, especially if you transfer higher amounts directly to the bank account. Although the UAE is a very crypto-friendly country, the banks here are also subject to anti-money laundering regulations that they have to comply with. And if the banks simply allowed every incoming payment without questioning, the UAE would also have major problems internationally. So what I can recommend at this point, and what we do for many of our clients also, is that we open a strong account with a good UAE bank, and there are priority accounts with a dedicated relationship manager for certain clients, accounts where the KYC process essentially already indicates that there will be higher cash inflows into this account. And the advantage of this is that you are less likely to have problems and can always communicate directly with a dedicated relationship manager if you have any queries. As a general rule, however, you should not cash out larger amounts directly. Instead, you really need to build up a history slowly in the UAE and Dubai. A second way you can cash out your crypto is through peer-to-peer services. So in Dubai, there are physical exchanges that you can go to. You can give them your crypto, transfer the crypto, and in return you receive cash that you can use in Dubai. And in Dubai, you can pay a lot with cash, for example, luxury cars, watches, rent, and all this kind of stuff. A third way is to buy assets directly with crypto. You will see for yourself when you are in Dubai. So many places essentially offer you to buy there with crypto. You can buy luxury cars with crypto. You can even buy properties with it. I mean, it's not as simple as in the past when you could still buy properties for basically millions of dollars of crypto. You have to be able to prove that you have acquired the crypto legally for large amounts. So there's a kind of AML check. But if everything is in order, you still have the opportunity to make larger investments directly with crypto. And what you can then do, you can also sell the properties later, and then you have fully cashed out your crypto into UAE dirham or US dollar or whatever currency you want. Of course, there are also fees involved. For example, if you invest in properties, you pay a 4% fee to the Dubai Land Department on the value of the transaction. And of course, fees to the agent who brokered the property. But if you want to buy a property anyway, this is, in my opinion, the perfect way to convert crypto into a physical asset. What you should definitely not do is to simply become a resident, open a bank account, and then directly withdraw millions of dollars of crypto. So the banks don't like that at all. You'll get into trouble very, very quickly and your account will be frozen. In fact, the UAE were only removed from the FATF grey list at the beginning of this year, I think in March or April 2024. And they no longer want to be on this list, of course. And this is why banks should ask more questions when huge amounts of money are transferred to accounts to, basically prevent criminal activities. So banks have often been too lax in the past, and this has led to ending up on this gray list. So don't think you can just transfer millions of crypto to your bank account in the UAE now without questions being asked. You really need to build up an actual transaction history with the bank, legitimately use and transact with the bank, actually live in Dubai, live in the UAE, which you need to do anyway to become a tax resident. And what you should not do under any circumstances, you become a resident in the UAE, open an account with an exchange here, open a bank account, and simply cash out all your crypto here and then go back to your home country. The problem you will then encounter in many countries around the world is that your home country will still consider you a tax resident in their country for the short time you were a resident or tax resident in another country. And then, and this is the worst case scenario, you have to pay tax on the capital gains you have made on the sale of your cryptos. This is the case in the UK, for example. There is the temporary non-resident rule. And this means if you have not been a non-resident of the UK for 5 years and you come back, you have to pay capital gains taxes. It's the same or similar in other countries around the world also. For example, in Germany, where I come from, here the law does not explicitly stipulate a period during which you must have been a non-resident, but in practice it is often stated that you must have been a non-resident in Germany for at least 1 to 1.5 years. Therefore, definitely make sure that you find out in advance how things are regulated in your home country when you return after a certain period of time, so that you don't stumble into any tax traps when you become a resident of your home country again. This does not mean that you have to spend the whole year in Dubai. You can become a tax resident in Dubai for as little as 90 days per year. So you can also spend the rest of the year elsewhere. You just have to make sure that you do not become a tax resident elsewhere. So you can travel around the world, you can live around the world. And that is in fact what a lot of Dubai residents also do. If you want to become a resident of Dubai and the UAE, I have made a separate video for you in which I basically discuss the different ways you can become a resident. Check it out right here.